Good evening, class. Thank you for being here again tonight. Tonight, we're going to begin talking about fire safety and the correct way to use a fire extinguisher. Now, you've already been through the training of the 5 different classes of fire. The most common fire extinguisher that you're going to see pretty much anywhere you go is what we have here tonight. It is a dry chem fire extinguisher. It'll put out class A, B, and C fire, which again is the most common fire you'll have in your house, typically at work, your shop, places like that. And this fire extinguisher will work on the majority of those fires. You'll remember there's now a class K, which is for a kitchen fire. This will typically work in the kitchen as well. One of the things you do not want to use in the kitchen, if you happen to have one, is a water fire extinguisher, because you might have a gas or electricity there, and you know electricity and water don't always get along. So you don't want to use a water cannon on a kitchen fire. Leave that alone. Go to your dry chem, your A, B, and C fire extinguisher. So some very important things when using your fire extinguisher. Now this is class participation. So who made this fire extinguisher? Man, right? I mean, man made it, right? Does everything man makes always work 100% of the time? Absolutely not. We know it fails. Well, most fire extinguishers are going to have a gauge on them that you'll read, and it'll show that it's pressured or that it's good to use. Again, who made that gauge? Man. Is it always going to work? Absolutely not. But we do want to look at that. We want to make sure that the extinguisher we're using is the right kind of extinguisher for the type of fire that we're going to fight. Now, if you go to the store to buy you a fire extinguisher, one of the most important labels, probably the most important label you want to look for, is this one right here, this UL label, Underwriter Laboratory. We definitely want to see that. That means it works more times than it doesn't. It's been tested by a private independent lab. So if you'll notice, every fire extinguisher when you first get it is going to have a pin in it. And that pin is in there to keep you from accidentally walking by, laying your hand on this thing, and the next thing you know, you've got that dry chemical coming out everywhere. Do you trust me? Do you trust me? No. You trust me?
I will.
All right, I'm going to look right at him, and look, I weighed this morning. I weighed 218 pounds, and I'm putting every bit on it, and nothing came out. That's because that pin is keeping these two handles, the triggers, from coming together. Nothing's going to come out of this extinguisher until we press both of these handles, and that's what the pin does. Now, these pins are put on with a keeper. So when you first go to use your extinguisher and put that fire out, you're going to have to twist, yank, and pull on that thing to get it out. It's not just going to come out in a quick little easy pull. You've got to put some muscle behind that to get it out. There's an acronym that we use when we're going to fight a fire. Now, from your class, you should remember, how big a fire would we fight with our extinguisher?
No fire bigger than a wastebasket.
Nothing bigger than a wastebasket, a 30-gallon trash can. If it's bigger than that, we're getting out. Before we ever try to attempt to fight it, we need to call 911, let them know we have a fire, let them know where we are and where the fire is in the house or on the property. Very important that we call 911 first. Now, so if we make the decision to put out the fire, there's that acronym I talked about a moment ago that we're going to use. Again, we call that PASS. We love to call it PATS. We put a T in there. So let's go walk through that. The P is pull this pin, because it's not going to work until we do. The A is aim. What is this finger commonly called? Index or the pointer finger. There you go. So to aim, you always want to put the fire extinguisher in your, if you're right-handed, put it in your right hand. If you're left-handed, put it in your left hand. You're going to use then your non-dominant hand, you get the end of the nozzle. Very important to go to the end of the nozzle, put that pointer finger at the very top so you can point exactly where you want to point this extinguisher, and use it. You don't hold it back here, you don't hold it here, you hold it at the end of the nozzle. You ever had a water hose that had a lot of pressure and you hold it back here and things kind of whopping around like that? The extinguisher can do the exact same thing. So we want to make sure we hold it at the end, pointer finger on top. So we pull, we aim towards the fire, then we test. Now, very important when we test, typically we're going to just do it away from the fire a little bit. It is one quick squeeze, just and you want to make sure that chemical comes out of this nozzle. You do that before you ever go into where the fire is, because whose safety comes first?
The person that gets there puts it out.
The person with the extinguisher, me and my buddy, because you don't want to use this without a buddy when you're with your CERT team. So make sure you got a buddy with you. I'm going to get a buddy up here in a minute and show you the buddy's role. So it's pull. We're pulling the pin. We're aiming using our pointer finger. We're going to do a quick test. Then we'll go into the fire. We squeeze the handles. The agent comes out. Now this is a real important question right here. When we're extinguishing that fire, let's say those flames are whipping up here, 2-3 feet tall. So do we start there at the top of the fire and then work down to the base? Absolutely not. We want to go to the base of the fire. That's where the agent that's causing that chemical reaction is, and that's where we want to put the fire out, at the base of the fire. So we pull, we aim, we test, we get there, we squeeze, and then we sweep from a 3 to 9, 9 to 3 at the base of the fire until the fire goes out. Now, something very important. Once the fire is out, we want to do something that's called overhauling the fire. That doesn't mean we're going to go kick some timbers around and that kind of stuff. We're going to wait 60 seconds to make sure that fire does not start back up again. Because even though we got it knocked down, there might be some embers in there that would restart. Typically, nothing's ever 100% in disaster response. Typically, 60 seconds, the fire is not going to start back, but nothing's ever 100%. Now, 60 seconds doesn't sound like a long time, does it? Y'all, we're going to do something here for just a minute. Just bear with me, okay? I'm not even going to go to 60. Here we go. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi, 9 Mississippi, 10 Mississippi, 11 Mississippi, 12 Mississippi, 13 Mississippi, 14 Mississippi, 15 Mississippi, 16 Mississippi, 17 Mississippi, 18 Mississippi, 19 Mississippi, 20 Mississippi, 22 Mississippi, 23 Mississippi, may I missed one, 24 Mississippi, 25 Mississippi, 26 Mississippi, 27 Mississippi, 28 Mississippi, 29 Mississippi, 30 Mississippi. That's 30 seconds. That seemed like forever. In 30 seconds, I looked at every single one of you twice, and I got to the back row to 2 of you a third time. 60 seconds is a lot longer than what you think it is. So you're going to wait 60 seconds, making sure that fire is out before you ever leave. Now, once that fire is out, are you going to turn around and walk out? Absolutely not. We never put our back to the fire while it was lit and while it's out. Because even though we waited that 60 seconds, it's like we said, nothing's 100%, it still may rekindle. So we never put our back to where the fire was. That's one of the reasons we have a buddy with us. And so I need a buddy to come here and help me, because again, I'm not going to do this on my own. You going to help me out? Come on up. So I want to show you what the buddy would do. We're going to come over here, and we're going to talk about the commands. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let you have the fire extinguisher.
Okay.
Okay? You're going to call the commands. So the person with the fire extinguisher calls the commands: pulling the pin, aiming, testing, going in. We got to go into the fire, squeezing, sweeping, fire's out, overhauling the fire, backing out. The buddy is going to repeat every single one of those commands. So now, this is where you've got to be really careful, because y'all, during disasters, we can't let those little things about touching people kind of get in the way, because we're going to get a little personal here. Because my job as the buddy is to make sure that my friend, my buddy with the fire extinguisher, if he trips, stumbles, or fall, that he doesn't do it into the fire. I'm here to protect my buddy, because we said this earlier. Whose safety comes first? Me and my buddy. So that's my job. is to keep my buddy safe. So what he's going to do, he's going to stand towards the fire. I'm going to take a hand. I'm not going to put it on the back of his shoulder, the top of his shoulder, but I'm going to come in the front of his shoulder. Then I'm going to, and if you're getting a little squeamy, use the shirt as a barrier. But I'm going to go inside the waistband of my buddy's pants. I'm not grabbing the belt. I'm not grabbing the belt loop. Belt can come undone and come off. Belt loop can break. If the pants, I've got control of him, okay? So, hand in front, inside the waistband. I want to show y'all something. Try to walk. My buddy ain't going anywhere until I let him. That's why I'm in the waistband. My job is to protect my buddy. So what we're going to do now, we're not actually going to pull it, but he's just going to say, because we're going to use this extinguisher in a minute. So call those commands. So you walk through the P.
Okay, pulling pin.
Pulling the pin. And I loved it. He used a good loud voice. We use our outside voice when we do this. This is a disaster. Things are going on. We need to make sure that the buddy hears. That's why I repeated. He knows I heard him. Pulling the pin.
Aim.
Aiming.
Squeeze.
Testing, squeeze,
Testing
that's
before
fine.
we go.
Okay. Then he would say, going in. Now, go ahead and sit that down for 1 second. Now, this is very important. Let's say this chair is the fire. Y'all, we don't want to get right on top of it to put it out. You'll find that this extinguisher will actually spray a pretty good distance. We can get about 5-6 feet from it, and we'll be able to knock that fire down and put that fire out. So we don't have to get right on top of what we're putting out. So we're going to back up a minute, okay, so we can walk in here. So again, he would call the commands.
Pulling the pin.
Pulling the pin.
Aiming.
Aiming.
Testing.
He's testing.
We're going in.
Going in. I'm going to stay to his side so I don't trip him.
Squeeze and sweep.
Squeeze and sweep.
Fires out.
Fires out.
We're going
wait.
back.
How long are we going to wait?
60 seconds.
60 seconds. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Very important here. Remember I said we don't turn our backs, right? So he's going to look here. I'm going to turn sideways because I'm his eyes. Here we go. We're backing out. And we back out until we're a safe distance from the fire, and then we would set our fire extinguisher down. Thank you very much. I want the class to repeat this with me. Let's talk about PATs. The pull is what? Pulling the pin. The A is? Aiming. The T is? Testing. The first S is? Squeeze. And the second S is? Sweeping. How close do we get to a fire? 5 to 6 feet, plenty close enough. How big of a fire will we attempt to suppress with a fire extinguisher? 30-gallon wastebasket. Very good. Class, great job. What we're going to do now, we're going to go outside and we're going to get a couple of y'all to put out a live fire. Thank you very much. We'll do that in just a minute. So again, now what we're going to do is we are going to actually put out a live fire. You need to remember your PATs, the pull, aim, test, squeeze, and sweep. Remember, you do not have to get right on top of the fire. 5-6 feet away is plenty perfect. Buddy, your main responsibility is to take care of your buddy, because remember, me and my buddy's safety always comes first. That is your number one job. So in a second, we're going to get this fire going. When we do, y'all are ready to go.
Ready?
Ready.
Pulling the pin.
Pull the pin.
There. Okay. Aiming.
Aim.
Test.
Test.
Ready to go?
Ready.
All right, advancing.
Advance.
Stop.
Stop.
Squeezing and sweeping.
Squeeze and sweep.
Fires out.
Fires out.
Overhaul.
Overhaul.
1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000, 6, 1,000, 1,000, 8, 1,000, 9, 1,000, 10, 1,000, 11, 1,000, 12, 1,000, 13, 1,000, 14, 1,000, 15, 1,000, 17, 1,000, 18, 1,000, 19, 1,000, 20, 1,000, 21, 1,000, 22, 1,000, 23, 1,000, 24, 1,000, 25, 1,000, 26, 1,000, 28, 1,000, 29, 1,000, 30, 1,000, 31, 1,000, 32, 1,000, 33, 1,000, 34, 1,000, 35, 1,000, 37, 1,000, 38, 1,000, 39, 1,000, 40, 1,000, 42 1000, 43 1000, 44 1000, 45 1000, 46 1000, 47 1000, 48 1000, 49 1000, 50 1000, 53 1000, 54 1000, 55 1000, 56 1000, 57 1000, 58 1000, 59 1000, 60. Ready to go back?
Ready to back.
All right. Okay,
Clear the area.
clear.
Now, one other thing that I would like to remind you of, if you notice to the right of our team, we had a second team with a backup extinguisher. Because if me and my buddy's safety comes first, we need to have that second team there in case you get up there and all of a sudden that extinguisher does not work or something happens to you. So whenever you set up your fire teams, always send a backup team with your primary team. Because again, me and my buddy's safety always comes first.